When I came to Houston in '75, there was a saying, you go to Houston to make money. It wasn't about the city, it was about making money. Land developers didn't plant trees in new subdivisions. The battle is never over. Yeah, we've come a long ways, but we've got a long ways to go. There's still many things that Scenic Houston and other organizations need to accomplish if Houston's going to be the city that I think we would all like it to be.
As our world gets faster, more digitized, more distraction, more congestion, and louder, we really want to maintain these quiet spaces, beautiful spaces within Houston. And Scenic Houston really is the keeper of those spaces.
What can we do to keep people here? What do we do for our children who grow up and want to go away to encourage them to come back?
We talk about our diversity a lot, but we got to practice it. We need to recognize that we're all in this together. Celebrate diversity, but come together to run a really good city.
We're the most creative, we're most innovative, we're the most talented. We have all of these beautiful assets. So when we drive into a neighborhood, you should have that same warm, inviting, welcoming, I'm so glad to be a Houstonian, put your H's in the air type of feeling.
Scenic Houston is a nonprofit that started decades ago in order to really combat a lot of the visual blight that was around Houston at the time. And since then has really evolved to focus on best practices for streetscape design and policies that will really help reinforce the reduction of visual blight in Houston. We work really hard, often behind the scenes, to influence policies that are being made, maintain current policies, to ensure that we preserve the work that's been done in decades before, and really making sure that we are continuing to convene to help make some of these decisions going forward. We've developed the Streetscape Resource Guide, which we are in our third iteration of this guide, which really provides best practices for planned streetscape design. Throughout the last year, since we've launched our version 3.0, we've hosted several workshops to educate these community leaders, management district leaders, and city officials. We also want to celebrate and honor those entities that have really taken our mission and built something beautiful for Houston. And so annually, we also host our Scenic Star reception. Most recently this year, we honored Autry Park, which really exemplified walkable space, mixed-use development, and really thoughtfully planned spaces for all walks of life to enjoy.
Scenic Houston has a long, deep history of fighting visual blight. That fight continues. If we as Scenic Houston are doing our jobs, and that's not always just fighting against something, but fighting for something like we do in our resource guide, helping people see these are opportunities, these are best practices. Our team, our experts, our board, our advisors, we are a group, a collaboration of infrastructure junkies who want to make sure that we're safe, we're stable, but we're also beautiful. That is who we are, and that's where we're going in the future.
So this year we are so fortunate to celebrate Joe B. Allen, also known as Joe B., who really exemplifies the core of why Scenic Houston exists. You can't look out an office window, walk along a Houston street without feeling and seeing his impact.
Joe B is a Texas man. Joe B has a great deal of integrity. He's principled. He's down to earth, and he does hard work.
I'm gonna go ahead and call Joe B an icon. He's the best in his business. He made Houston into a great city. If you start going out any of our thoroughfares, certainly our suburban areas, Joe B probably had something to do with the development of it.
Who is Joe? Joe is Joe B. Allen. Joe is really, in my mind, he's kind of the quintessential Texas gentleman. He brings so much to the table. Obviously, he's a world-class lawyer, but he's more than that. I kind of kid, and I think he would probably admit that in addition to, being an excellent lawyer, he also has this rugged Texas spirit about him. And I'm pretty sure that if, you asked him, he'd say that if he had his druthers, he really would have been a Texas Ranger. And that kind of gives you that idea of the kind of personality and man that he is.
So one of the things that makes this award so special is all of the people who have received this award in the past. So I'm really honored to join that really select list of Houstonians who have really affected the destiny of Houston. So I grew up in a little town in the Panhandle called Levelland, and except for a city park and the courthouse, I don't believe there was a tree in the entire city. One of the reasons I like Houston so much, it's got so many trees, and it gives your whole quality of life a whole different feeling. The trees are like a vacuum cleaner for carbon dioxide. They are an immense sound killer. For a town like Houston, the impact of all these trees is immense. That's why we need a few million more. We started ABHR in 2003. Most of our work is on suburban development. Our group is very committed to trees and green. And over the years, we got the rules changed. A constitutional amendment allowed MUDs to use tax dollars and tax-supported bonds to finance parks. There's now been over $1 billion in park bonds issued. It has totally changed the look of suburban Houston.
You know, Joe has left a legacy that I think many people don't realize how big it is, and it's actually still ongoing. Joe would always say the engineering perspective is to sort of do something that meets the engineering criteria, but it doesn't have to be ugly. That's kind of really an aspect of Joe's life. The little things matter. It's not just about today, it's planning for the future.
Being behind or supportive of Scenic Houston means that you're supportive of a more beautiful Houston. And you understand that these things don't happen overnight, that it is policies that are developed that will continue to shape decades into the future.
I think that scenic places are far more important than we may give them credit for. Not only does a scenic space impact our quality of life, but it impacts our economy, so that people will want to come here. Companies will want to locate here.
At the end of the day, our city's story is told by beauty and not by blight. We need every single person in this room to continue to be an advocate. Call your council member, talk to your state reps, help us advocate where we can win like we did at the state ledge this year, where the efforts of Scenic Houston created a stronger punishment for bandit signs. So it's not just about blight. It's about holding people accountable.
The battle is never over. It takes an investment now that impacts something 15 years from now. It's like planting a tree today that you know you're never going to be able to enjoy the shade. I would hope that at least in my mind, I had a dramatic impact on making Houston one of the great cities of the world.